LaunchCon TV, Episode 10. The Mandalorian Grogu Review. Near spoiler free. Hello everyone, and welcome back to LaunchCon TV, where gamers call home. I'm your host Patrick, and today we're talking about the newest Star Wars film, Mandalorian and Grogu. Now before we begin, don't worry, this review is going to be as spoiler-free as possible. I'm not going to reveal any major plot points or surprise appearances or anything that would ruin your experience. Instead, I want to talk about why I enjoyed the film and why I think many Star Wars fans will also. Let's start with the obvious question. Did I like it? Absolutely. In fact, I enjoyed it enough to see it twice. Now that's actually pretty rare for me nowadays. Between family, work, and organizing LaunchCon, I don't often find the time to see a movie more than once while it's still in the theaters. To be fair, one viewing was in a traditional movie theater. The second was in a drive-in theater. But here's the interesting thing. I actually enjoyed the movie more the second time. The first viewing was all about taking in the story. The second viewing gave me a chance to appreciate the little details, character moments, and connections to the larger Star Wars universe. The more I thought about the movie afterwards, the more I liked it. I can already tell this is going to become one of those Star Wars films I revisit regularly once it arrives on streaming. You know the kind. The movie you put on during a lazy Saturday afternoon because you simply enjoy spending time in that world. For me, The Mandalorian and Grogu feel like one of those movies already. One thing I really appreciated was how connected this film feels to the broader Star Wars universe. Throughout the movie, there are references, Easter eggs, visual callbacks, and familiar elements that longtime fans will recognize. If you've watched The Mandalorian, The Book of Boba Fett, Ahsoka, Clone Wars, Rebels, or the films themselves, you're going to notice little nods throughout the movie. The good news is, they don't overwhelm the story, at least for me. The film doesn't stop every 10 minutes to remind you about another show. Instead, these references are woven naturally into the experience. They're little rewards for longtime fans while still allowing the movie to stand on its own. And I think that's exactly how these connections should be handled from moving forward for all time. The galaxy feels larger because of them, not smaller. Now let's talk about what really stood out to me, the heart of this movie. Because while there are action scenes, creatures, spaceships, and everything you'd expect from a Star Wars movie, that's not what stayed with me afterward. What stayed with me was the relationship between Mando and Grogu. As a father, this movie hit closer to home for me than I expected. At its core, this movie isn't really about bounty hunters. I don't think it's about blasters. I don't think it's about the Force. This movie is about family. It's about responsibility. It's about the sacrifices we make for the people we love. It's about teaching, protecting, guiding, and preparing someone for the future. Those themes are woven throughout the entire movie, and honestly, I think that's why it connected with me so strongly. Now, one of my favorite parts of seeing this movie wasn't actually the movie itself. It was watching my son watch the movie. My son is 11 years old now, and throughout the film, there were moments where I could see him reacting emotionally to what was happening on the screen. There were moments where he laughed, there were moments where he was concerned, and moments where he clearly understood the lesson being presented. And I found myself paying almost as much attention to the movie as I was to him. Because I recognized something else. I was watching the same thing happen to him that happened to me when I was his age. When I was growing up, Star Wars wasn't just entertainment. It was storytelling that taught me lessons about courage, responsibility, friendship, and sacrifice. Doing the right thing even when it was difficult. And during a couple scenes, I could see those same ideas connecting with my son. I could see him processing them, learning from them, taking them to heart. And honestly, that may have been my favorite part of the entire experience, because he's my clone. Maybe not exactly, but close enough. That's one of the reasons Star Wars continues to endure generation after generation. At its best, Star Wars isn't just telling stories about space battles, it's telling stories about people. People trying to do the right thing. People learning from their mistakes. People discovering who they are. And people finding the strength to protect those they care about. Those themes are timeless. Whether you're 8 years old or 80 years old, those ideas still resonate. And I think Mandalorian and Grogu capture that spirit remarkably well. Now, is it perfect? No, it's not. No movie is. There are a few things I might have done differently. A few story beats I would have liked to spend more time with. And let's be honest, Star Wars fans have never struggled to find things to debate over. We'll probably still be discussing certain parts of this movie years from now. That's just part of being a Star Wars fan. But none of those things significantly affected my enjoyment, not even close. I walked out happy. And then I came back for a second viewing. That alone should tell you how much I enjoyed this movie. If you're a fan of Star Wars, I think this movie is going to be worth your time. If you followed Mando and Grogu since the beginning of the Disney Plus series, I think you'll appreciate where the story goes. And if you're a parent, I suspect some of those themes in this movie may resonate with you in ways you didn't expect. And for me, Mandalorian and Grogu is ultimately a movie about family. It's about the responsibilities we have to one another, the sacrifices we make, the lessons we teach, and the things we're willing to do to support, protect, and provide for those we love. Those themes are universal, and that's why this movie works so well for me. Have you seen The Mandalorian and Grogu yet? What did you think? Did you enjoy it? Did you take your kids? Your parents? Were there any moments that particularly resonated with you? Let us know in the comments below. And while you're here, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share LaunchCon TV with your friends. We're always bringing you content covering tabletop gaming, conventions, science fiction, fantasy, esports, and generalized geek culture throughout the Midwest. Maybe not in a timely manner, but we still get it to you. I'm Patrick, thanks for watching, and a wise man once said, the main quality of leadership is courage. If you can dream it, you can do it.
You didn't do the woo.
Woo! Have you seen the man?